Thank you, quiet voice. All right, so beautiful to see everybody starting to settle. I'm just doing that intentional process of finding your body again. It's just little movements wherever they feel like they want to arise, just to become aware that, I'm a being with a body and here's my body. And finding your seat. And finding the weight in your seat. So allowing, however you decide to sit, allowing the sit bones to be your anchor in the posture, the foundation of your pose. Yeah, beautiful settling. Feeling the weight right down from the skull, through the neck, through the thoracic spine, through the mid-back, through the lumbar, down into the sit bones and down into the floor. And we just pause there for a moment, feeling the whole weight of the torso and the energy moving down. And closing the eyes. And allowing a breath to come in to a soft belly. And a breath to travel out. Soft heart. And two more, soft belly, breath in. Soft heart, breath out. One final one, breath in, belly soft. Breath out, heart soft. Invite the face to become soft. And feel yourself grounded and rooted, like connections down from your sit bones, down deep into the earth, stabilizing, grounding, drawing up nourishment. And then feeling this aliveness, this energy traveling back up from the earth, back into the sit bones, back up the spine, right to the crown of the head and up into the ether. And as you feel that groundedness and that lightness simultaneously, leaning into the sensation of that balance. The body held in balance. Lightness and gravity. And then softly scanning down, aware of sensations in the face and head and throat and neck and shoulders. And notice the impact of just gently resting your attention in these areas. What happens? What is the sensation that follows your attention? Down through the right arm, down through the left, down through the torso, chest and upper back, ribs and mid-back, belly and lower back, hips, thighs, right side thigh, knee, down through the lower leg and feet, left side thigh, knee, lower leg, and left foot. Notice if you can tune into a deepening of the sensation of aliveness in the body as you begin to tune more deeply to it. And bringing our hands to our hearts. In recognition of the wisdom and healing that happens in our bodies, we just give them space. And for today, the intention, if you feel moved to practice it, a simple request to be supported in our capacity to let go. When we can let go and we can release, space opens up, and in that space, healing, joy, and peace can arise very naturally. And bringing hands together in prayer, thumbs gently resting to the chest, chin tucking. And inviting in supportive energies from whatever it is that you believe in or practice with. To support you today in your practice. To move and breathe with the intention to release, let go. Everything standing in your way. Keeping the eyes closed, gently release the hands down. Bring them out to the sides as you breathe in. Take them up diagonally, lifting, feeling length rise through the spine as you raise your arms. And then exhale, hands together, come down past the face. Reconnect to the heart, soften the belly. Let's do it again. Breath in, hands out and up, fluid motion. Exhale, hands down. One more time, breath in, arms out and up. And exhale, hands together. And to the heart, gently blinking open. Keeping your attention anchored internally. Good. Taking a breath in, hands out, up. We invite the left elbow to nuzzle into the right here, just soft. So we're coming into quite a challenging pose early, but we just want to take it really soft. And letting the arms gently cross as they can, and then relax here. So we don't want anything too super active at this point, just softening into it. And then releasing, breath in, hands out, up a little bit, and right elbow nestles into left. And just notice that any restrictions and constrictions and resistance, and just soften there. And then release. Taking the arms behind you. So we can do this a few rounds, and each time we'll go a little deeper. This time just brushing the edges of the postures. Taking the hands behind you, interlace the fingers. Whoop. And gently, my hip doesn't want to move this morning. Gently rolling the shoulder blades towards each other and the points of the shoulders out and back. Anchor through the sit bones, lift through the crown. Gentle and release. Beautiful. Let's do it again. See if we can go just tiny fraction deeper. See if there's a little less resistance. Breath in, arms out. Left elbow into right. Notice, does it come more easily? Wrap the arms. This time we'll add on a breath in to lift up the fingertips. Nice and slow. Now here again, just brush the edges of the posture. We're not trying to go deep. We're just exploring the body, greeting the body. Exhale to round. Breath into neutral. And breath out to release. I've found since I've started practicing this way, breath in, arms out. And moving particularly through the warm-up very softly, right elbow into left, my body actually opens up quicker without being pushed and goes deeper. Soften, gently, fingertips to the ceiling, breath in. And breath out, let's round very gently. Breath into the center, release, arms down. We'll come back to that in a moment for one more round, but first breath in, scrunch up tight now, shoulders base fists, and exhale, release. Good, and again, breath in, scrunch it up tight, and exhale, a real drop. One more, scrunch it up tight. Get as much tension going as you can, and then exhale to drop it. Good, hands out and up, breath in. Let's feel it one more time. Exhale, left elbow into right and wrap. Notice how much more space is there with releasing, breath in. Now we can go a little bit more extended. Lift the fingertips, press into the edges now. And exhale, drop the elbows down, round the upper back. Breath into center. And exhale, release. Hands out and up, inhale. Right elbow to left, wrap. Lift, inhale. Now we are leaning into the edges. We feel like, oh yeah, I'm sort of stretching here. Exhale, elbows down and round. Breath to neutral. Exhale to release, hands behind you, interlace the fingers. Breath in, now we want to get nice and open. And inviting more of that leaning into the opening, that sensation of that into the upper chest here, into the shoulder blades. And then exhale, release. Good. Again, breath in, arms up. Left elbow into right. So we speed up a little bit as well. Exhale and wrap, breath in, lift. The body's safe, it knows where it's going. Exhale, round. Inhale, neutral. Exhale, release. Beautiful. Breath in, hands out and up. Right elbow into left. So finding that flow, wrapping. Breath in, lift fingertips. Excellent. Breath, yeah, you got it. Breath out, round. Last bit of the pose and the sequence. Breath in, lift up. Breath out, interlace the fingers. Breath in, find as much space. So here now, suddenly my body goes, yeah, let's go. Nice and big and open, and then exhale. Release. Shake it out a little bit. Turn your head a little bit from side to side, all gentle. And come to hands and knees. Notice if you've flicked out of intentional movement or mindful movement, and just bring that intention back to be present to the sensations of the hands on the floor, the knees on the floor, and have your toes tucked here, so toes on the floor as well. Taking a breath in, drop the belly, move through the whole spine, lift head and tailbone. And then exhale to round. And notice if maybe it's a little easier because we've already warmed up a bit than you've had before. Breath in, belly down, head and tailbone up. Maybe not, also fine. Maybe noticing a lot of restriction or tension. What is it that's happening in your body today? Exhale to round. Breath in, belly down, head and tailbone up. So we take the lay of the land in our early entries to the postures. And then exhale round. Good. Come to neutral. Then breath in, drop the belly, lift the head and tailbone. And as you exhale, now we'll do the exploration. We kind of know already where there's a bit of stiffness or a bit of looseness, and we just let our attention move through the spaces, and we begin to explore physically as well. So wriggling around, noticing where you can reach for a little more space. You can even take the fingertips out. Does that feel good? Does that feel right? Does that feel what the body wants? Good, and come to neutral, breath in. Breath out, just round, straight. Breath in, belly down, and here again, we're going to start to explore a little bit. Small movements, hips to the left or right, shoulders around, just looking for space and release naturally. And then exhale, slowly now, draw the belly in and round out the spine. Feel the pulse of energy change. It's a pump through the spine. Breath in, belly down, head and tailbone up. And exhale to round. Nice. I'm going to hold here, and in 3 breaths, go as deep as you can now. Breath in. Breath out. We're leaning in, we're pressing into the edges. Press into the hands, lengthen through the arms. Feel the length come right out of the spine, through the shoulders and down into the fingertips. One more breath. Beautiful, and then release it. Nice. Breath in here and back to child's pose. Option to rest onto the hands, bring the hands behind you and rest the forehead, or extend the arms long. You choose. Feel the breath nice and full right down into the pelvic floor, up through ribs and chest. Let's do a couple here out through the mouth and really get some more release going. Breath in through the nostrils, deep and full. And then out through the mouth. And again. And out. One final one like that. Breath in, deep and full. And out. Excellent. Come to hands and knees on the in-breath. Draw the hands under the shoulders, out breath. Bring the right leg through for low lunge. Now, we want to try and move with as much space and grace as we can. So there's an option to come up onto the fingertips. And like we've done before in downward facing dog, where we really use the core to move the legs, we can even try to do that here. So we try to find more of a more flexion in the spine, more of a concave space through the front of the body. And then we can draw the leg. Doesn't matter if it looks exactly like this, just going in this direction.
Draw the leg right through. Okay, if yours hits the floor, that's fine and you have to walk it. But think about this shape and this space of curling in and making space for the leg. Okay, so flexibility in the spine, flexibility in the hips. And then however you get there, shuffling it forward for a low lunge. Good. Come to center first. A breath in and a gentle squeeze of the inner thighs towards each other. And then flatten out the back foot, hold that squeeze a little bit, and then exhale, press the hips forward. We can do the same thing here. So we'll work progressively, just very lightly brushing the edge of the posture the first time round. Then we're going to pulse to go a little deeper. And then we're going to explore. Good. Breath in. Breath out. You may find already the body, knowing what's coming, suddenly opens up. Or maybe it's resisting, I don't know. Breath in. Bring your hips back. So we're going to pulse here. That means on the in-breath, hips come back. On the out-breath, we open up and draw the hips down towards the floor. And we'll do that twice more. Breath in, hips back so that they're over the back knee. And then as you exhale, gently opening the hips towards the floor. That's it. Breath in, back to center. And breath out forward. Now, still holding a little bit of that activation, so the inner thighs moving towards each other. We're going to explore. I'll move this way, this might be easier to see. What I would like you to try out. We haven't done this very often. We have done it a couple of times a few months ago. So, walking this foot out a tiny bit, so a heel toe just out to create a bit more width here, and allowing your torso to come a little bit on the inside of this leg. Still supported. You can be on fingertips. You can be on flat palms. Breath in. As you exhale, squeeze, the hips are aligned, and then we're going to move. Okay, so tiny movements of exploring through the spaces of these two hips, moving the torso, moving the spine. You can walk the arms around, and you're just feeling, when you do these movements and this exploration, trying to feel into both hips and the impact that the movement has right down into the hip. So you might rock a little bit from side to side. Yeah, that's it. Good. Going with your body. Noticing what happens as you do this. Beautiful. Breath in, bring it all back. Breath out, release that leg. Nice. We'll swap it over. So again, coming up onto fingertips if you like, making a little bit more space by rounding the back. And as we breathe in, we're lifting left knee towards the nose and attempting to step through. I've got little legs, so it also makes it easier. Squeeze the inner thighs towards each other. Flatten out that back foot and let yourself just brush the edges of the pose here very gently, softly. That's it. Softening into the breath.
Nice one. Coming back out, breath in. Hips back, over the knee. And then we pulse. So exhale. Trying to track really nice and evenly. So that's squeezing the inner thighs so the hips don't pull to either side at this point. Good. Breath in back. Breath out, open up. And then a gentle heel toe. That foot comes out to the side. Just a little bit. Fingers on the inside. And we start to wriggle around. This is actually called, not exactly like this, but a more advanced version is called the lizard pose. So think about snaking with the spine and the arms. Think about that fluid type of movement as you explore. Notice if there's any difference. This side feels much tighter for me. There's a lot more resistance here. So noticing that, I'm dropping my right hip a little forward and even taking a bit of a twist for myself. Which feels quite good. Good, and then hands back to the center, breath in. Lift the hips back up. If you can reverse it, try. So we exhale, drawing the knee up, bringing that foot through, and wriggle it out. So what feels natural to me now is to actually extend my legs back a little bit, shake out that front of the hip. Good. And then coming side, you might want to watch me first because we want to go sideways on the mat for this one. I'm going to go from lizard to frog and get quite deep into the inner thighs and hips. So I'll explain it first and then you can go for it. We take the knees wide and we line everything up at 90 degrees. So our hips are at 90, our knees are at 90, and if possible, our feet turned out at 90. If any of this is too much, you just soften the angle. We walk the knees out and come down to forearms. I'll show you from a few different angles what it looks like. That's there. Okay, so you can see how my leg is here, 90 degrees here from hip to knee, 90 there and 90 at the ankle on both sides. I'm not going to pretend that it's super comfortable, but it feels great afterwards. Okay, and you might just be here. You can gently pulse a little bit back and forth, but we're looking for that centered place. So we don't want to become too far forward or you'll feel there's nothing much happens in the hips. You don't want to go too far back, it's too hard. Nice and centered. And then depending on your flexibility, you can bring down to the forearms. And we're going to just hang out here for a little while. How's everyone going? Let's see. Yeah, good. And see if you can use your intention and breath to ease your way into the posture and think about that sequence of brushing against the edges first. So you're just orienting yourself to the pose. Then you press a little bit into the edges, pulse. Okay, here's the place where I can lean in further. And then, third stage is to lean in. So this one, we're not going to wriggle around, but where you can feel resistance or you can feel the call for more opening. Can you take the breath there? Can you make an adjustment that gives you more release in that place?
Beautiful. Then coming up onto your hands. And the way to come out, I like to release the feet first. So there you go. Release them. And then just gently, little bit by little bit, bringing those knees, walking them in towards each other. Giving the legs a little shake out behind you again. Good. Excellent. 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 And then coming to sit with the legs out in front. You take the flash of the buttocks back here, connect sit bones to floor. We're going to be quite extended here, so press out through the heels. If you need to micro bend the knees, that's okay, that's fine. But not super bent. We're not doing that version, we're still doing the full Paschimottanasana, but you can ease off with the backs of the legs. Lifting, so remember that lift through the spine from sit bones up to the crown of the head. Fingertips either side of your knees. Energy down through the sit bones into the ground and then back up through sit bones and spine and crown. Breath in. And then exhale, belly, ribs, chest. Let's take the forward fold. Saying hello, we love you, vagus nerve. This one. Two more breaths. Good. Breath into rise. Still working into these hips. Take the legs out 45 degrees. Exhale. Shuffle and lean. Get nice and pressed into those sit bones. Press out through the heels, but soften the knees. And just orient for a moment. Feel what that feels like. I'd like you to experience that feeling of everything that's here, feeling super solid. This wonderful foundation. Really stable. And then up from the sit bones, a beautiful length and lightness through the torso and the spine. That's it. Good. Leaning into the fingertips, so keep that lift. Solid here, light here, and then exhale. Belly, ribs, chest. And it's totally fine. Wherever we get to, when it ease our way in, brushing the edges of the posture. And then beginning to explore. So might lean a little bit to the left or to the right. Gently snake the body down a little deeper. Walk the hands out. And just feel, if I move a little bit to the left, I can feel opening. And I can feel activation of the muscles in this left side of the spine. Move to the right. See if you can feel like when you breathe in, you're now breathing all the way down into the body to the tips of the toes. And breath out. And again, full breath. Right to the tips of those toes. Softening with the out breath. One more full breath, all through the body. And now as we breathe out and we're letting go, we're also extending. So from last week, I think we talked about the 5 points of the star. Think about extension out through the fingertips, crown of the head, and tips of the toes. All at the same time. Beautiful. And then release, come up. Nice. Draw in the soles of the feet. Baddha Konasana. Soles of the feet touching. I don't know why today I just got this intuitive thing to do hips. So that's what we're doing, everyone. Okay. Hands around the ankles. And remembering our cue from last week to have the little pencil here or something and squeeze the backs of the knees, breath in. And then breath out, keeping that squeeze, pressing the knees down. Just for the length of the exhale and then release everything. Breath in, squeeze the knees. Breath out, press the knees. You might want to move your hands. I'm actually finding that around my ankles pulls my legs back up. So I'm going to move them to my feet. Good. Breath in. Squeeze. Breath out. Press the knees down. Hold. Take hold of your toes with your left hand. I'm going to use the right hand here to, this is a little bit, I'm not going to go too deep into the explanation actually. I can't help it. We want to press the leg that way away, so out in the direction of the knee. We want to roll this flesh back behind us, so that way, and press the leg down at the same time. So this is easier when I can do it to you and you get a feel for it, but we're going to try and do it this way. So first thing, just press like you're pressing, trying to make the thigh longer. It's this way. Then like you're trying to roll the thigh, what we call out, yeah? External rotation in the hips, so that's taking the flesh back. And then pressing that knee down. Okay, so it's going to take it quite deep into this hip, if you're getting there. And you can just explore it as well. Okay, so listen to me, but also just listen more to your body. And then release. Just notice. Swap sides, right hand taking hold of the toes. So thinking about this again, we're just trying to create length out that way. Trying to create a depth of rotation this way. And then an opening by pressing down. So we go long, we go back, and really like again, just moving that flesh there and then pressing down towards the floor. You can lean away, you can lean forward, lean into it, and just feel the differences when you move around like that. Good, that's it, and release. Ooh, let's bring the knees together for a moment. Take the legs out in front. Shake them out, give them a little bit of a wriggle. We'll go in gently again here too. So we want to get the backs of the hips and the glutes and the piriformis coming down onto your back. I want to stay on forearms if we can. Hopefully, if you can't do it like this, Michelle, just lie fully onto your back. Hooking the left elbow, ankle even, over the right knee. Good. I'm going to lift up that right leg and press. So we're doing a pigeon pose in reverse, lying on our backs. And I want you to really focus on not letting this left knee come up here. Okay, so it's not this. We need to keep, we've just practiced multiple poses, opening the rotation of this hip. So let's keep pressing that knee down in the same direction as your right foot. So everything down there is pressing, but then your right knee is trying to bring the whole figure four thing that you've got going on here towards you. And then you'll feel it go into that glute and hip. And that's it. You can wriggle the right ankle if you wish. That feels good. Beautiful, and then release. Swap it over. Left foot to the floor, right ankle over the left knee. My pom-poms are getting in the way, let's move them. So remember, this right knee is going to have a tendency to try and escape the opening. We're wanting to offer it that beautiful, sweet surrender of letting go and releasing. So we're going to encourage it to go the other way. Lift up the left side and bring all of that towards you. Good. So for me on this side, this knee is even more determined to stick towards me. It doesn't want to go open, so I'm going to encourage it. Good, and then release. Good job. Shake it out a little bit. Rolling over onto hands and knees. Toes tucked, breath in. Exhale, full downward facing dog. So our legs and everything should be pretty open, and hips. So pressing the heels into the floor or towards the floor. Pressing the hands into the floor, lifting the sit bones towards the ceiling. Rolling the tops of your shoulders out and away. Beautiful. Breath to the front. Little breath in, little steps forward. Feet to hip width. Come to your flat back first. Find full extension, sit bones to crown. And then exhale, full length, forward fold. Long legs, long back, soft neck. Try to find the length in the backs of the legs by lifting up the sit bones and leaning the weight a little forward into the toes. So we want that real lifted. Here we've got energy going up through the sit bones, down through the crown. You take hold of the elbows if you wish. Good, and then release, breath in, rolling up to standing. Exhale to ground. I'm going to balance a little bit today and repeat this opening through the back of that hip. So taking your weight into your right foot, we need to micro bend that knee and soften. We're just going to practice balance first, super quickly, super simply, just to get all the bits in place. So feel across the spread of the sole of the foot, the base foot, the right foot, gripping with the toe. Actually, I might take my shoes off so you can't see what I'm doing. So my feet are quite wide and spread, and I'm gripping with the toe now. So everything there is very anchored and the heel is very solid. The knee, though, is nice and flexible. Come to toe tip of the left foot. So it's basically no weight. Makes no difference if I lift it up, except that I have to balance a little bit more. Yeah, that's it. So we just kind of give our body the signal, this is where we're going. Got it, got it, got it. Beautiful. And settling down, I'm going to lift. We're going to make the figure 4 again. So we're going to lift this ankle over the knee. You got it. Keep balancing, hands to hips. Bend the standing knee a little bit more, and we're going to take a forward fold towards this leg. So you just go where it's comfortable for you. Keep bending, balancing, bringing the fingertips to the floor, and leaning over. That's where I'm going. Everyone's folded forward, I can't see anything. That's it. So really let that standing leg bend quite a lot. And then to come out, same thing. You bend, bend, bend. That's it. Beautiful, Michelle. Nice. And coming out and releasing. Whee. Yeah, nice one. Awesome. Ooh, wriggle out the hips. Weight into the left foot. Set yourself up. Foundations first. Toes wide. Foot wide. Heel presses. And just take note of that, like a physical note of what that feels like to be solid through that leg. Soften the knee. Come to toe tip on the right side now. And just notice, as you do this, notice what has to happen in the left ankle and foot for you to stay upright and balanced. It'll be like this. Okay, that's exactly what it's meant to do. That's totally fine. Hands to the hips. Good. Coming up and down, just letting the body know, yep, you're going to take the weight. Beautiful. Then we lift, ankle over the knee. Really soften this standing knee as much as you need to. Okay, so we're repeating this pattern. Good. That's it. And the way to find a bit of balance as you go down is to, as you lean forward with the head, you take the hips back. So it's not a straight forward fold. You're letting this come back and then gently resting over it. Good. Bend that knee more if you need to. Come out. It's trickier coming up than going down, I find. Yeah, and release. Good job. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Shake it out. I want to go to the full version, which is squatting on your toes. But we won't. We're going to work our way up. All right. Let's take the legs out wide. Turn the left toes out 90 and the right toes in 45. Just going to do like probably just one or two standing poses before we go back down again. And here I want you to just hang out casually again. So if the hips are like already going, right hips already lifting, that's fine. What we want to focus on here is drawing this left hip really deep into the body and reaching out. So I want you just to first, like grease lightning, reach out. You can even do the other way. And feel that length through the bottom ribs here, really extended. Breath in and keep that extension. So just think, all I want you to do is think about reaching out and drawing this hip in. Reaching out, we're going into, I don't know what's her name. Oh, is it Kate? No. The singer, the Heathcliff, Wuthering Heights, Kate something. And down. Ah, yes. Beautiful. Bring your right hand to the left ribs, draw them up into the body a little bit and forward. This shoulder, base shoulder, if it's rolling forward and tucking up into the ear, do the opposite. Roll it back and then you find more space here with the ribs. Ah. And then the top arm can either rest onto the hip or rise right up, palm forward. So I want you to feel the quality inside the body of like the energy of movement inside the body, even when you're holding in a static pose. If you set the pose correctly, with intention and with presence, there's an aliveness, even when you're still, that you can really feel. And this is what I love about yoga. It gives us access to this capacity. Tune into that. Beautiful. Then breath in. Let's come up so you can bend that front knee if you need to. Rise. And we're going to swap it over. Left toes in, right toes out. Casually, just go to where your body naturally goes.
Grease lightning version, lifting the right arm, reach, and already start to feel this right hip pulling in, tucking in, this left hip. So we reach, we reach, we reach. Kate Bush, that's her name, isn't it? Can't see any nodding heads, yes. And then arm down. Beautiful. Left hand tucks these right ribs up first. I'm going to take this shirt off so you can actually probably hopefully see it a bit better what I'm doing. So this is drawing in. Deep, 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 deep. And then we're bringing a twist into the torso here. So I've reached, I found maximum length. And then this hand, yeah, I think you can see. So I take this rib cage right up into the body, yeah, and then forward. So much space, beautiful. And then this shoulder space here, open, open, open. And then again here we have that sense of extension through all the extremities, crown of the head, fingertips, toe tips. And then it also, bonus, becomes more beautiful to look at when it's alive with all that energy. Beautiful. A couple more breaths. Good. Bend the base knee if you need to. You don't have to, by the way. You can come up straight arm. It's just more work. And then exhale. Release. Good. We're going to heel toe the feet in. Step in, shake it out. Set the feet to hip width. Breath in, arms out and up. Full extension through the body. Exhale, forward fold. All the way to the floor. Nice. Then let's come to sit. And we haven't done much twisting, so I want the final sequences to be spinal twists. Come to a seated position, cross-legged, please. And then again, we're just going to come in straight away. So no fancy entry here, just left fingertips behind, right hand to right knee. Brush the edges, figure out where the pose is. Then let's deepen. Breath in to lift up through the heart. Breath out. Should be nice and connected to these ribs now as well. So again, we're going to rotate left ribs back. Whew. Lots of space there now. Good, come to the center. Twist the other way, right fingertips behind, left hand to right knee. And then pressing in, breath in, lift up nice and tall. Breath out, deepening. Good. Awesome. Come back to center. All the way down on the floor. Again, this one's a little complicated to explain without being next to you to show you, but hopefully we can get there. Lying on your back, soles of the feet on the floor. What we're doing, I'll explain the principles as well. The way we're going to do this twist is move the hips to the side slightly so that the rotation is upright. There's no diagonal or pulling through the spine. It's just a complete on its own axis twist. So, soles of the feet on the floor. We lift up the hips and take them out over to the right and then put them down on the floor. So your feet are slightly that way, your hips are slightly this way. You're going to move your right foot. Oh, hang on, I've done it a different way. I've made it something complicated, even more complicated already. No, okay.
You're going to move your left foot next to the right. So the bottom half of the body is slightly over to the right. Hook the right leg over the left at the knees. Lift everything up. And then we're twisting to the left. Arms out to the side, taking this right knee across. It's going to go deeper. If you want to back off, you bring the knees away from the chest. So that makes the angle less intense into the twist. And if you want to go deeper, you bring the knees up towards the elbow, towards the face. And that'll take it deeper and longer through the spine. I think I learned this version at Confest in Victoria, Lucy, in 1995. Beautiful. Release that. Come back up. Bring the knees up. And just find your way to a centered posture. Unravel. We'll start with the feet on this side. It's a little bit easier. So this time, bring your right foot over next to your left. So they're touching. Lift the hips up and take them over to the left and then place them back on the floor. Hook the left leg over the right. Draw the knees up, breath in, arms are out. And we take a big clump of knees over towards the right now. Ooh. Beautiful. And then relax, release, unhook, come to the center. I'm going to draw the knees up to the chest, wrap the arms and exhale right up, curling up into your little ball, squeezing. And then release. Take Shavasana, grab socks and jackets if you wish, extending the legs long, letting the feet fall open. Extending the arms long, palms up towards the ceiling, extending the head long, neck long, face soft, eyes closed. Breath in and out. Good, and I want you to start to just settle your attention into the natural rhythms of your body and nervous system here. So attuning to what is there, be it tension, be it openness, be it softness, whatever it is, just giving it attention. And being with it and following naturally where your body asks you to go. So maybe it says, I want you to feel this tension in my neck. Or maybe it says, I want you to feel this tingling in my tummy. Or I want you to feel this sharp pain in my toe. Just follow. The little calls for attention. And notice the rhythm and change, sometimes pleasant, sometimes unpleasant. Often we rest our attention on tension,
and it releases. There's a beautiful flow. Allow yourself to enjoy exploring with warmth and curiosity. Beginning to wriggle the fingers and toes. Let the body know that you're going to be rising shortly. Move the wrists and the ankles. And then whatever kind of rocking or movement or stretching feels like the right way for you to begin rising out, follow that. Good. I'm following it all the way up to a grounded, seated posture. Nice. And then again, a moment to anchor through the sit bones, reconnecting deep down into the center of the earth, lifting back up, energy right up through the spine and out through the crown, light and lifted. Bring our hands to our hearts and close down the eyes briefly. Taking the breath into the heart, expansion. Breath out from the heart, softening. Breath into the heart, expansion. And breath out from the heart, letting go. Breath into the heart, expansion. And this time we're going to add in, as we let go, use your top hand as you exhale. Press the palm away. Breath out from, feel it coming out from the heart. And press that hand away, letting go. Turn the palm up. Full surrender and release. And then bring hands together in prayer, tuck the chin. Breath in, tall through the spine. And exhale, bow forward to complete your practice. In gratitude and acknowledgement of all the energies, spirits, gods, whatever's surrounding and supporting us. Namaste.
Okay, let's stop that recording.